911, what is the address of the emergency?
This is 33-year-old Nicki Lenway trying to report that she's been shot in the neck, struggling to breathe as blood pools in her throat. To make it even more sinister, the entire scene was caught on camera. It showed the suspect escaping in a black truck belonging to none other than Nicki's ex-husband, 41-year-old Timothy Amacher. What came next was beyond shocking.
We can put that at the scene, and we can put that as the shooter's vehicle.
There's no way.
Oh, yes.
There is. There's video.
Tim denies any involvement, but little does he know that the detectives are already multiple steps ahead of him.
This is a picture right here.
That's not my truck.
However, that wasn't the end of it. Behind his bizarre stories lay a secret far more sinister than anyone could fathom.
Again, the evidence looks like that this is some kind of conspiracy.
I think it's a situation.
On April 20th, 2022, Nicki Lenway had arrived to pick up her 5-year-old son from a supervised visit with his father, Tim Amacher, at Familywise, located at 3036 University Avenue Southeast in Minneapolis. Just moments after parking her car, a figure dressed entirely in black had chased her down, firing multiple shots in broad daylight. The suspect then fled in a black truck, leaving Nicki bleeding heavily and barely clinging to life. But fate showed mercy and she survived the brutal attack, even managing to dial 911.
911, what is the address of the emergency? What is the address of the emergency?
3036 University. Follow me.
She could barely speak to the police, but luckily, officers arrived quickly to find bystanders desperately trying to stop her from bleeding out. And subsequently, the officers were about to get some crucial leads from the witnesses.
I was coming up, and I saw the two people, and they were talking, and then all of a sudden I heard bang, bang. And then I saw one person standing on top of the other person, and there was a black somebody. I felt like it was a male, but the person who I picked up, Nicole, said she thought it was a female.
At the time, neither the identity nor the gender of the shooter was known, making the case even more challenging. With limited leads, the officers' first course of action was to question Nicki's ex-husband, Tim Amacher.
Right now, I'm going to ask you if I can search you for weapons real quick, okay?
For weapons?
Yep. If you could just put your hands up, thank you, sir.
Why would I have weapons here?
Your ex-partner was involved in a shooting. Right outside here.
A shooting?
Yes, a shooting. So right now, what we're going to ask you is if you could come with us and speak with someone with the department downtown.
No, because I don't. I've been threatened by Minneapolis police. I've been told by.
Stand by,
I've been told that I was going to get stay out of Minneapolis or I would catch one. I've been threatened multiple times. I have a recording from Sergeant Amy Walker that she said it didn't ever happen.
Okay.
So if somebody from St. Paul wants to come and talk to me, but I don't feel comfortable. I've been threatened by, not to say that you guys, but I've been threatened by multiple Minneapolis police officers.
But Tim wasn't exactly cooperative. Eventually, officers had to make sure he had no option to come out and answer their questions.
Well, I was just told that she got shot in the neck, so I don't know. I mean, they said she's okay, so that's good.
Okay. You know more than I do.
Are there any other vehicles on file, or is this it?
This is mine. Yeah, this is mine.
This your only car?
Yeah.
We need to note that he just mentioned that the Jeep was his only car, but that was about to change soon. Meanwhile, Nicki had woken up in the hospital, still unable to speak. Determined to communicate, she had written to the officers and made her message clear. A woman had shot her, and she was certain it was all part of Tim's plan. And with such a statement, the officers brought Tim for an interrogation on April 28th, 2022.
But there are some details in there that we kind of wanted to go through a little bit more.
Absolutely. Is there a reason why you guys just couldn't call me in and say versus?
Well, There's some information.
Now I got 2 dogs that are,
We'll get into
We can get
that.
into that.
okay.
And I'm sure you might have a very good explanation for any and all of it.
Any and all of what?
Well,
We'll get into that.
But because you have been brought in custody, you do have certain rights.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware of them.
Even if Tim knows his rights, he has no idea what the officers know, or that his day is about to get much worse.
So, what we kind of want to get into is there's some details that have come out in this investigation, and they kind of link to you.
Well, of course, I'm going to be the first guy you guys look at.
Well, yes, you do have a motive.
I don't have any motive.
Well, there's the custody thing, right?
No, custody thing's over with.
It's all over with?
All that's over with.
Okay. Isn't it true that she has custody?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you wanted custody, wouldn't that be a motive?
Motive for what?
If she's not around, now you have custody of the child, correct?
No, her parents would get custody.
Is that the way it was in the courts?
I believe, isn't that what happens?
No, because you're the biological father.
No, you could take that to court.
I don't know.
You could fight it.
I have no money to fight.
Okay.
So
I guess what we want to do is...
my motive is, my direction hasn't changed, and I can show you guys emails right now, is to show, I've talked to press, just like I'll be talking to them about what happened to me this morning, but I've been talking to the press, I've been talking to other outside entities, BLM and other ones, about what her and that referee have done to me, and what they've done to my son.
Okay.
So,
well, and we're aware.
Bringing something to light is way better than any violence will ever do anybody.
Okay.
And I'm trying to bring the situation to light.
All right, well then
Plain and simple.
you'll appreciate what's going on here,
Mm-hmm.
all right? Because then you might have some information regarding it.
I do. If you guys talk to Sergeant Amy Walker, once again, I have multiple times told her that Nicole has admitted, and I gave her the evidence, so Sergeant Amy Walker has it, of Nicole tampering with evidence. Before, a long time ago, I said, this is going to go this way. I said, she's already having people spray paint her house, people following her.
Okay.
I had 2, when she was dating a couple of guys in MPD. One of the guy's current girlfriends, 2 of them came to my studio to look for her. She talked to one of them. The other one she has a recording of. And I told Sergeant Amy Walker that, plus I gave her the evidence of Nicole admitting that she's tampered with evidence.
Okay.
Right from the get-go, Tim shows no regard for the brutal attempted murder on his own child's mother. He thinks by bringing Sergeant Amy Walker's name into the mix, he's establishing credibility for himself, but that is far from reality. Absurdly, he's more conscious about Amy Walker than the mother of his child lying in the hospital bed without a voice. Instead, he tries to show how he is the victim of his supposedly evil ex-wife. That is a kind of red flag that the detectives usually look for in these conversations, and as the interrogation proceeds, they're about to get much more of them.
So there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah, I actually.
But let's go. We're going to give you some information here, and maybe that might help shed some light to you.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things that kind of concerned us is that night when you talked to Sergeant Benner.
Mm-hmm. Which one is Sergeant Benner?
Sergeant Benner would have been at the scene, a black.
He's the guy that just...
Oh, they walked up.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you talked to Sergeant Benner, he asked you what type of vehicles you owned.
He didn't let me finish. He just asked me and then walked away.
And that is a bold-faced lie. As we noticed earlier, Sergeant Benner didn't walk away, but instead confirmed if the Jeep was his only car.
So I started talking about a Hellcat, and then that was pretty much it. He didn't let me finish. I have 2 motorcycles. I have a truck that I don't really consider mine. It's on lease.
Okay.
And then I have a Jeep that's in the shop right now.
The Jeep that you had at the scene that night.
Yeah,
correct.
that's in the shop, yeah.
Okay, so that truck is the one that is kind of interest to us.
Okay.
Because we can
We
put
guys can
that...
take it and look at it, look through
No,
it.
but the reason is because that truck, we can put that at the scene, and we can put that as the shooter's vehicle.
There's no way.
Oh, yes.
There's video.
Of the truck?
Oh, yes.
And the suspect.
So let me kind of explain this to you here. So basically, I don't know if you're familiar, this is kind of the technology thing is kind of over my head, but your truck This is your truck here, right? And this is your name,
This is when we ran you in
right?
DBS.
You're up
I
there.
don't know if that's the VIN number, but we'll just say hypothetically yes.
Okay, so this is what DBS says that your truck is,
Mm-hmm.
VIN number,
Yep.
and then you currently have a temporary plate on it.
Is that right?
Okay, so that's
I
a
don't-
temporary plate number, okay? So, provided this is all right,
I have new plates coming in, so those
Okay.
ones are,
but provided all this is correct,
this one I don't have.
okay? All right,
Okay.
so, but you do have this black truck.
I have a black
That's-
truck, correct.
And that's the one you were just stopped in, correct?
Yes.
What happened with that is, we did it in an administrative subpoena, and you can see that the numbers are the same as far as the VIN number. So what happens with the administrative subpoena is, they went in and they basically gave that particular number,
Mhm.
and there's this thing called an IMSI,
Mhm.
okay? That number is, IMSI, is associated to that truck,
Okay.
okay? It's kind of like a phone, has a little deal on it to send it. So that number there comes from that,
Okay.
okay? We then in turn did a search warrant, and you can see that the numbers correspond. And so the search warrant is done for that number, the IMSI,
Okay.
okay? What that does is it gives us a running location of the vehicle, okay? So,
Basically a tracker.
No, I understand, that's how they find me.
Does that make
all the
sense?
time. Yeah, no, I understand how
Okay.
that works. It's,
Every detail of the truck matches, leaving Tim with no way out. But instead of admitting anything, he would go old school, clinging to minor details in a desperate attempt to protect himself.
so that's what we did.
okay.
Now, we did that because of the fact that at the scene, we had, so this is a picture, right here,
That's not my truck.
of the truck coming up there.
That's not my truck. That giveaway right here,
Uh-huh.
I have Superman logos.
Okay, well,
Where'd you get those?
I got them a while ago, no, a long time ago.
I mean, from Amazon, or where'd you get them?
I'd have to look.
and when did you put those super little?
Those were on, jeez, I don't know, I could try and locate an exact date for you guys if you guys want.
Okay, well, let me
How
ask
long,
you this.
roughly?
I don't know.
A month? A day? A week?
I wanna say maybe to this event, maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks before?
I think, don't quote me, because I don't wanna get all whatever over it on logo.
Tim calls 2 weeks a long time and claims he can't even remember such a recent date. These are clear red flags, showing he's trying to dodge answering the main questions of the interrogation. He knows that by the next round of questioning, he'll need a new plan. That's why he keeps insisting to go and check the exact dates, when in reality, he already knows them.
I don't think this is, also my truck has a GT right here too.
No, these Superman, are they magnets, or what is it?
So no, they're stick-ons, but the GT comes factory, right? So the GT, so I don't, once again, there's no GT here, there's no logo here. So is there any way for that to be faked?
No.
Are you sure?
The pictures?
No, the
IMS.
The IMS.
No.
Okay. Because I don't see a GT, and the GT comes on from the factory.
Okay. Let me ask you this. When did you actually pick up the truck? Not when you got the lease going, but when did you actually physically take possession of that truck?
The truck was actually delivered at my, delivered to me.
But when?
I would have to look at that too. I don't
Roughly?
Approximately.
Jeez.
Because you got it down in Shakopee, correct? They're the ones that delivered it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd have to look to see the exact, I mean, but that's easy for you guys to figure it out too.
Well, we've got some
I don't want to get,
information, but...
I know, but I don't want to get.
But I mean, did you get it a month ago? Did you get it a week ago?
No,
Did you get it
I've
6 months ago?
I've had it maybe 6 months ago, I don't know. You guys should have all that exact information.
Okay.
Well,
I wouldn't doubt any of that information.
and
All I'm saying is there a way to fake that, because there's no way that truck could be there if I'm there with my Jeep.
Well, that's another question. Who else has access to the truck?
Colleen has access to it.
Colleen Larson is Tim's girlfriend and they live together. Only she and Tim had access to the truck, making her an immediate suspect. Nicki's claim that a woman shot her and that it was all Tim's plan is quickly aligning with the facts. But the real question remains, how long will it take to get the evidence or a confession?
Are you the only one?
to my knowledge. I mean, I don't know if somebody can steal the keys. I mean, like, for example, the reason why I went down to change the plate is because somebody stole my front plate off, and they stole the back frame off.
What do you mean by you went down to change the plate?
So they stole so originally, if you guys look up that truck, it has old temporary plates on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the old temporary plates were stolen off the truck.
And what was that?
I couldn't even tell you what that plate is. I can tell you what all my custom plates are because they're custom.
Okay.
But I can't tell you what all the other ones are.
So someone stole the plate off there.
So I just went down to the DMV and they said it's been happening a lot.
Okay.
So.
And when did that happen? Was that?
Oh, it's nothing for me to be concerned about because it's just, I mean, it doesn't really matter anyways.
You didn't report it?
No, it's a temporary little deal.
But when did that happen, I guess, in
I-
relationship to the shooting?
I don't even know, like weeks ago.
Weeks before the shooting?
Weeks ago, like weeks upon weeks ago.
Okay, and when did you get the replacement?
A day or 2 days before that.
Before the shooting?
Yeah.
And you put the replacement on?
Yeah.
So you had the replacement on it?
Yes, on the back.
Did you ever take them back off again for any reason?
No.
No,
There's
is
two
it-
spikes on, so the spikes are hard to even screw on. And they're
It's just on the rear, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Do you-
You only did one time.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you did that at? Was that at home
Or
or
the dojo?
No, it was at the studio.
at the studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Because I went to City Hall, and from City Hall I just...
So you're thinking sometime in March, if we're going off of when the
For
shooting,
what?
when this happened, as far as you getting the new ones to
A couple
replace
weeks
the...
ago.
No. It was a day or two before that. 'Cause I went into City Hall.
Okay, this happened on the 20th.
So it'd be on the 19th or a Monday or... There's a receipt from City Hall too. I mean, so I can pinpoint that exact... I can get you guys... I don't want to be... So in family court, if I was an hour off, oh, see, you're lying. I'm like, I'm freaking an hour off.
Okay.
So I don't want to be caught up on
We're-
an hour or two or some
we're
days
not-
that I can go back and get you guys the exact day,
Okay.
the exact time. I'd rather... If that makes sense.
Yeah, so let's go back to who has access to the truck.
Yes.
So Colleen, for
Colleen
sure.
has access.
Does she have her own keys, her own set?
There's two sets. One set is busted.
What do you mean? Like the fob or what?
Yeah, the fob is busted.
So,
One of the dogs got at it.
okay, but does that mean it can't be started without the fob?
I have no idea.
Because my car has a fob, it also has a key.
Those don't have...
That's what I mean, I don't know about your
I don't
truck.
think I don't know.
Because what is your truck?
It's a Dodge.
2022?
2022. According to that.
Yes.
Yeah. 22, 23, I don't know.
All right.
So does it have like the push button thing? Is that the
Yes.
way it starts? Okay.
So I just keep
So you
the
just
fob
have
on.
to have the fob and you push the
Yeah.
button.
Mhm.
Okay? So, I guess, just so you understand how we get to the fact that your vehicle is involved in this, is because we were able to capture video from basic 350 feet from your house all the way to the shooting scene.
Of course, Tim has no intention of revealing his secrets, but the harder he tries to keep his secrets, the detective categorically breaks down his walls using evidence-based investigation. It's no longer a question of if the case will be solved, but rather when. And in just a few minutes, the walls will start closing in on him.
And that also tracks with the IMSI.
Yeah.
So, if you look at this here, you live up here in,
So is there a way that
Wayland, right?
somebody could have taken the vehicle?
right? Well, you live there, right?
Yep.
Let's go through this first.
So basically, we got a video camera that shows it,
I don't deny any of this.
okay?
Like, I don't know how it's possible,
And
but...
Well, we can think of
That's the route it went,
Mhm.
okay?
Yep.
And, I mean, I'm showing you this because I know you have a distrust of the police, but there's a picture of the truck,
Okay.
okay? Here's another picture of the truck,
Yeah, these are all cameras, yeah.
yeah, okay? So you can see that we're tracking, that it was tracked,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay? So again, in...
Can I see those real quick?
Sure. So not only can we track it to that location, but we can track it back to that exact location from the house,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay? And the IMSI
How come I'm not seeing GT or the logo or anything?
Well, as far as the GT,
The GT's factory, comes on from the factory.
Right, but as
so
far as
let's
the-
say we can argue and say, oh, the Superman things were stuck on there quick, right? I still don't see the GT.
okay, well, the thing about video and moving vehicles is it's harder to see things that are not. Is this GT in a different color? Is it like white?
No, but you can see it from a mile away. I mean, it's yeah, so I don't know.
All right, so basically, from the IMSI, there are...
That's
no other-
fine, that's fine.
And here's what you have to understand.
That's fine.
There are no other trucks on that video,
Okay.
about that match spec.
Can I
This
see
is
that
the only
one?
truck. Okay?
Yeah.
So that leaves us with, I guess, basically,
This isn't my truck. There's another big giveaway. I don't see any box. The box is like really, can I see the other ones?
yeah, I know what you're saying. I've seen, we got pictures.
I've seen different ones that,
Okay. So it does have the box on it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Tim's desperate attempts are falling apart. The detectives already know it's his truck, yet Tim still thinks he can talk his way out of it. His efforts to escape blame are almost laughable. But as his denials continue to crumble, he's about to make a desperate shift in his story by trading lies for wild theories that are stranger than anyone could imagine.
So again, what I'm telling you is, the IMSI, this is the truck.
Okay.
There's no doubt it's the truck.
So is there any way that, I don't know.
So what we're kind of trying to figure out here then is how is that possible? You know, like you're saying that this has something to do with Jamal Park's
I think
stuff. Well, why
you
is
gotta
that?
talk to Sergeant Amy Walker about all that stuff. I
Okay.
gave the information and I walked away with it. Like I said, there's recordings of her admitting that she tampered with evidence. I
Okay.
don't know why nobody really cares about that. I don't know if that's because that's an inside deal. Do you guys work for the Minneapolis Police?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, so this conversation is probably, I mean, I already have,
Okay.
I already have a
But let me
minute.
ask you, do you have something to do with Jamal Clark?
No, I have nothing to do with them.
Okay.
But I mean, if something
So
were to happen to her,
you don't know anybody who would have access to your truck that has anything to do with that Jamal Clark?
it'd be perfect for somebody to try and set me up. It'd be too perfect for somebody to try and set me up.
So you think
But-
this is a setup?
I don't know what it is, but I know that I was under lock and key the whole time with my son.
Yeah, we
Yes.
know where
So
you're
I don't get,
So you're in
So-
Familywise.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, is there any reason why Colleen would want to shoot Nicole?
oh, hell no, she wouldn't hurt anybody's freaking baby's head. I mean, plus the timeline wouldn't even really match for her to do anything anyway, because she works, she teaches.
Okay? Well, that's where the problem comes as well.
Okay,
Because we also got warrants on your phone and her phone.
that's fine.
So we can track your locations
Yep.
and her locations.
Okay.
Okay? Now, did you use that truck earlier in that day? For example, around 12:09, Larpenter and Snelling, were you around that area?
I don't know if I had the Jeep or the truck.
Where'd you go?
So on those days, because the dogs, I transport the dogs in the truck, right? But I mainly use the Jeep whenever I can. So on those days, I always, because she has to I take the little puppy with me, and then she usually take the big dog with her. So it's easier I can manage both dogs, but she doesn't feel comfortable managing both dogs. So I'll take the little puppy with me, take her out, kennel her, go to Familywise, and then get back and unkennel her. Sometimes Colleen is there. When I get back, sometimes she's not. Sometimes grocery shopping. But she teaches class at the Taekwondo facility, which I have cameras at the Taekwondo facility. If you guys want to use them, you guys can have access to them.
Okay.
So,
Well, let me continue here though with, so just to, I guess, refresh your memory, your phone was in the area of 12, or
I wouldn't
in
doubt
the area
it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I have
Larpenter and Snelling
So like
at around 12:09.
Yep. I wouldn't doubt it.
And at that point in time, we also have that truck at that location,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I mean,
So you wouldn't contend that you weren't there and weren't driving the truck at that
I
time?
would not contend that at all. I mean,
Okay.
at Lexington and Larpenter, I think that's when I dropped off a pair of jeans at the Golden Tailor.
The Golden Tailor?
I
Okay, so you dropped a pair of jeans out there. Where's the old tailor?
Lexington or Larpenter or whatever.
Larpenter and Sally, that area?
Yeah, so there goes liquor store, Golden Tailor.
How about,
Okay.
how about the vet?
Did
The
you
vet?
stop at the vet?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yep, so I went to the vet because, Nova, she had her, what's it called? What's it called? She had a shot.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
A shot.
Tim laughs, trying to act unbothered and fearless. But his act won't hold up for long, especially at this very moment when the detectives hit him with another bombshell.
So, let me tell you this as well.
Mhm.
We have pictures from that location in which there is no Superman logo,
There should be,
and
and there's
it
no
also-
PT either?
There's no plate. And it looks just like these pictures.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You
Okay?
guys can go
So
there.
now, that's basically, 7.5 hours before
Mm-hmm.
she gets shot?
Like I said, you
That's-
guys can call City Hall, I mean, I put that sucker right on, so.
Well, that's why we asked you earlier. If
So
there's
is
some
it
reason-
possible the Colleen took the plate off? You think the plate,
Oh,
the plate
no,
was on
I
there at
don't-
that time?
I don't think she would take the
Okay.
plate off.
Well,
I don't go out, all right, so, let's say that,
let's
I don't
go
go out
forward
and
here
check
a
for my
little bit.
plates every single time, like, I didn't even know the plate was missing, the other one, until
Uh-huh.
somebody told me.
Okay.
Okay,
So, I mean, I don't,
So it could have been missing and you wouldn't have known it?
correct. I mean,
Okay.
it's not like they're actual real plates, so I don't really care about them. I'm waiting for my real plates to come in.
let me ask you about your relationship with Colleen.
Mhm.
So how long have you known her?
I've known her for quite some time.
Oh,
I mean, years.
Well,
Scrotum.
let me go a little further. Is there a reason then that Colleen maybe was trying to protect your son?
I
Because,
don't-
let's finish this here, okay?
Yeah.
So the phone records put you basically going back to your business,
Okay.
and I believe it was roughly between 2:30 and 4, you're at your business,
Okay.
okay? Colleen comes over to the business around 3.
Okay.
Now, at that point in time, when you went to the business, the truck also goes to the business,
Okay.
and the truck stays there.
Yeah.
Now, you leave, and I think it was roughly around 4-ish,
Okay.
and you end up going to your house.
Mhm.
And you're at your house from, I don't remember exact numbers, but maybe 4:30 to 5:10,
Mhm.
at which point in time you and your phone
Mhm.
then heads over to Familywise.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Mhm.
You'd agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you were driving, not the truck at that point in time,
I never drove the truck over there.
okay? So you're driving the Jeep.
Mhm.
So why do you never drive the truck over there? Is there a reason?
Yeah, so that the big dog can go with the Colleen, because the big dog doesn't really fit.
Okay, so it's a thing's the dog.
Mhm.
Okay, so then the truck leaves there at the fitness place at roughly 6:55.
It could leave, yeah, it could leave at that time,
And
because
so
yoga
is
starts
Colleen-
at 7. Yeah.
So is Clean's phone.
Okay.
So her and the truck go from there to your house,
Okay.
and then at that point in time, the truck goes from your house over to the shooting.
Well, what about Colleen's phone?
Her phone stayed at home.
Okay, she was at home.
Her phone was at home,
but your truck wasn't.
but her truck wasn't. So basically what we have is we have her at the truck.
I can show you
Leave it with
videotape
business.
footage of her being at the house. I have cameras all on my
Okay.
house.
Okay.
Well, you guys want to see those?
We pulled it already.
Okay.
We got it.
We're searching your house and the business currently. So,
And-
but we're just trying to get from you, how does this make sense? Because your truck, there's no doubt your truck's involved in this,
Okay.
okay? There's no doubt Colleen's driving your truck from the business to your house, and then somehow your truck leaves the house almost immediately after getting to the house and goes to do the shooting.
I don't know, guys. I don't know what you want me to say. I would say I
Well,
have.
you're educated, man. You're smart.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think's
I
happening?
would say I don't want to guess on anything for the simple fact if I were to guess on a lot of stuff, I would guess some things I wouldn't guess on this.
Who do you think took your truck from your house
I don't know.
and went to shoot Nicole?
I have no idea.
Too many wild theories are floating around, but the detectives have only one, and that's the one that matters. Soon, the detective will put Tim right on the spot.
Who would have a reason to do that? Who lives at your house?
No one at my house would have a reason to do that. She works for you guys. That's the
Timothy,
stupidest thing you could do.
Timothy, here's the deal.
That works for the police.
Timothy, it's not a robbery. It's not a carjacking. I mean, we have the incident it's on video, and it's a female.
And here's what we're really worried about, and we need you to explain that it's not the case, is that somehow you conspired with Colleen to do this so that you'd have a rock-solid alibi.
No.
Think about it. You got a perfect alibi.
I'm okay with it. You guys can show my truck, and I'm willing to cooperate and do what you guys want.
But
I'm not going to draw
What do you think about this?
I think it's a situation.
How can you?
I would have never thought in a million years that my truck would be at the scene.
And who do you think is driving your truck?
I have no idea.
How do you think your truck got to there?
I have no idea.
You, as an educated man, you
as
have no idea.
As an educated man, I'm not going to draw a conclusion to something that Colleen is not capable of, in my eyes.
Your truck's there. It's a female suspect.
You guys can
This is a straight-up execution attempt. There's no robbery. There's no carjacking. So who, like Sergeant Jensen said, who logically would want to pull this off?
You guys would have to talk to Nicole and literally sit her down.
No, we're not. Nicole already has given us some her insight.
That's fine.
But who's in the other room? Colleen.
Okay. She doesn't have it in her system to do that, man. She really doesn't.
Well, she had your truck.
I don't think she has it.
Did you see how this looks, though?
I can see how I can see how it makes it look. Absolutely. And I don't think that was my truck.
Well, we told you how the data says your truck. Let's go back. Let's try this.
And even without the
even if it is all right, so let's say that the numbers don't lie, right? Let's say the numbers don't lie.
And the phone data doesn't lie.
Yeah, correct. But then the phone keeps. You said the phone never left the house, which there is evidence of her.
But
there's evidence of her phone being there.
Yeah. No,
well, her. Yeah, so here's the thing. I have cameras on my house that should show her in the house.
You know where your phone's at right now?
Yeah.
Where?
You guys have it.
Okay. So, if you leave and we take you somewhere else, does that mean you didn't go somewhere else?
Well,
huh? Okay. So just because your phone stayed here.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Or if somebody thought this out.
Think about this. Why would somebody just leave their phone at home and drive off in a truck?
I really don't.
And try to commit murder.
I don't think that.
Can I ask you about your guns?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like you have several, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how many?
I don't know.
Come on, man, really?
I really don't. Let's see here. I have 5.56, 2.23, which is basically the same caliber. 307. Oh wait, that's not even caliber.
As the interrogation nears its end, Tim still chooses to deny any involvement, not just for himself, but for Colleen as well. What he doesn't realize is that the detectives already have shell casings from the crime scene. It'll take just a minute to match them to one of his guns, and if they do, it's game over. Tim is playing with fire, and he's about to get burned.
But the rest?
I'll hit him. I'll bring you to him right now if you want to see him.
Well, they're out there right now. We just don't.
I don't want my house being all torn apart, man.
Well, that's why we. If you tell us, then they wouldn't have to tear it apart to find them. I mean, they hidden that well.
No, I don't think so. I think they'll end up finding them. I mean, so my house is going to be torn apart right now?
Well, there's going to search warrant.
Yeah. Okay. Again, the evidence looks like that this is some kind of conspiracy.
So, do you think she could be capable of doing something like this to Nicole in order to help you out or advance your relationship? Or?
No.
All right, so you had nothing to do with conspiring or telling Colleen to commit this crime?
No.
So her committing this crime would be completely on her own?
If she did what he's saying is you didn't plan this out together?
No. There's nothing that me and her have done to go against Nicole. I mean, Nicole has made my life. I feel like you guys had a buddy talk with her, to be honest, if I'm going to be honest, and now you guys are bringing me through the ringer for something that I had nothing to freaking do with.
Nicole is a problem for you.
No, So she's not a problem for me, per se. I feel like she's a problem for my son, and I feel like she's a problem
Well, wouldn't that be a problem for you then?
No,
So if she were out of the picture,
that wouldn't do any, no, it wouldn't do any good to anybody. It wouldn't do any good. It would do no good. Zero, zilch. I mean, what good am I going to do? Okay, so, we all know technology today. Like, I'm not even surprised at any of this, right? So, technology today, you guys are going to find who this, period. What good would I do?
We did find who did it.
Okay.
She's in that other room right over
Oh,
there.
there's no way she did it, man.
Oh, she did
I don't think so. There's no way. She doesn't have a phone in her body.
You explain to me then.
Well, I mean, how many people can print off keys? I don't know. I mean, I literally, so,
Yeah, but
in my, guys,
So you
alright,
think somebody printed off keys to go kill Nicole? That's what you want us to believe.
I don't know what.
And brought the truck back.
And brought the truck back.
Okay, so let's.
And you have cameras.
All I'm telling you is I don't think she has it in her bones.
But unfortunately for Tim, Colleen, who was sitting just in the other room, was not as great of a pretender as Tim thought she'd be. Under pressure, she was about to break down and give all the answers the detectives were waiting for.
It's the truth.
Whose idea was it to shoot Nicole? Tim's. So he asked you if you felt comfortable, would you shoot Nicole for me?
Yeah.
Yes.
There it was, the truth. With the confession in hand, the detectives finalized their report. A match between the shell casings and one of Tim's guns sealed the case, providing enough evidence to put both him and Colleen behind bars. Finally, on November 3rd, 2022, Tim's trial began. After just an hour of deliberation, the jury found him guilty of attempted first-degree premeditated murder and aiding his accomplice, Colleen Larson. With that, he was sentenced to 18 years in prison. 4 days later, on November 7th, Colleen pleaded guilty to aiding and abetting attempted first-degree murder, avoiding a trial. She received a sentence of 16.5 years. So what do you think could have been the motive behind this attempted murder? Was it because of custody issues, or was there something even darker? Feel free to share your opinions. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any cases you want us to cover, please share your suggestions in the comment section. Also, like, share, and subscribe to our channel to uncover more cases like this from around the world. Until then, stay safe.